Oh, dear God. Here we go. Field day, ladies and gentlemen.
We are going to talk about Barbie, directed by Greta Gerwig, former actor Greta Gerwig.
No, what's the Pete Davidson one? Just kidding. Pete. I'm mentally ill, but I'm on drugs.
Oh, God. This
I like
meme,
drugs.
this meme of a movie.
Written and directed by Greta Gerwig, as well as co-written by Noah Baumbach and Greta Gerwig.
I saw this in July 20, dude.
Starring Margot Robbie, Ryan
You saw this the day
Gosling.
it came out?
Yeah.
With a Barbie costume, you weird motherfucker.
Yeah, I did wig.
Or did you do Barbenheimer?
I did 4-inch, not 6-inch heels, all right?
All right.
Oh, heels. Oh.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Come on, bro.
Starring Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, and America Ferrera.
Yeah.
8 nominations this movie for Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Production Design, Best Costume Design, Best Original Song. You put *2.
Yeah. 2 songs got nominated.
Which is the sec? Oh, is it What Was I Made For
What
one?
Was I Made For, which I think should win.
Yeah.
That one was
I
really
actually do
solid,
think should
yeah.
win. I think it's the only thing this film should win. By a mile. Okay?
Okay.
What's the other song? I'm just kidding.
I don't
By
understand
the way,
how that gets Oscar love. Won the Golden Globe.
Ryan Gosling is going to perform this at the Oscars.
No!
Brace yourselves.
I
He is.
know.
It's confirmed.
And he's going to be like that? Oh, my God.
Obviously.
He has to be.
Oh, dear.
Wait, so Billie Eilish is going to perform too, right?
Eyelash? Yeah. Did you say Billie Eyelash?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like the things on your eyes. Really quick note. God, what an odd film. Only because
He kind of glitched out.
no, like I'm sorry, I stroked out there for a second. But we just talked about like American fiction and talking about these underrepresented communities. What?
Oh, that's okay.
No, yeah. Go for it.
You're missing one. Go on.
Okay. No.
Missing one? What do you mean?
1, 2.
You're missing cinematography.
Oh, that's right. I forgot best cinematography.
It's important to know because Rodrigo Prieto's up for 2 Oscars this year for 2 different films.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say we just talked about American fiction, which was a super interesting take on
sorry about
underrepresented communities and the way that other people will take their image and manipulate it. And
Pander.
and then this is talking about another big topic, which is the idea of again like
identity and
identity, women in society, what their role is, and what are their expectations. And that's why a lot of people fell in love with it. I know multiple people from the female community were saying, oh, there was these parts that I really identified with or I connected with. And it just kind of shot everywhere, right?
Well, you can blame IMDb because they don't have cinematography listed.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it's interesting that it sprayed out to a lot of people and something was there for... Yeah, no, and something was there for everybody.
It didn't get nominated for cinematography.
It did.
No, I'm looking at the Oscar website right now.
Is this guy wrong for a second time today?
Oh, huh.
Anyway.
Maybe there's a rule that you can't.
Okay.
By the way, why you put 8 and there's 7 listed? Oh, times 2. Never mind. Sorry.
Okay.
No, we're good. We're good. Everybody's hearing you.
Again, we are not the targeted community. No, I'm not saying target demographic as far as enjoying this film. I'm just saying when it came to the message, the big message in America Ferrera's speech was all about like what it means to be a woman, how hard it is to live up to certain definitions, and those are the elements that a lot of people are going to talk about and say like, why shouldn't Barbie?
I'm ready to get canceled.
Yeah, no, why shouldn't Barbie be the one to get Best Picture? I think we just saw that. There's other people who have said the same topic better. There's other ways to tell it. This movie was trying to appease everybody, and I think that kind of shows for it, right? Like it was trying to be experimental in some ways. It was trying to be funny. It was trying to be empowering. Yet it doesn't really come up with a solution.
She's everything. He's just can't.
Yeah, like I mean, and then the final joke at the end of the movie is like, I'm gonna go see a gynecologist. Like I don't know. It's funny.
It's funny.
And I thought it was a fun movie. And there's a whole conversation that could be had on the double feature of Barbenheimer itself and what that did for cinema. But as a movie itself, as it stands, I just knew that this was going to be like even during a Barbenheimer event. We all knew Oppenheimer was going to be heavy. Barbie's going to be the fun. Let me just chill out, have fun.
Balance
you know,
it
like
out.
it's going to be enjoyable. You know.
Yeah. What's your rating?
My rating as it sits, I know that we're pretty far into it. I'll give it an 8. You know, it was fun. It technically, like, they're even putting a best production design.
So you kind of liked it.
It's fun, but I'm not gonna put it 9 or higher. It wasn't bad. There wasn't an element of it where it was like, oh, that really falls flat. I just think that it was trying to appease too many people, and that's kind of one of the challenges. If you're trying to appease everybody, you're not gonna make one really solid thing. You know,
Yeah, that's
it
what-
didn't take enough risk. It was being very safe, I think. So yeah, 8.
Can I go next?
Yes, go next.
Go next.
Carlos is like, please.
Carlos goes last.
I give it a 6.9.
Okay.
Bitch, I was gonna put that.
Oh my god.
Okay, you can still put that.
The issue is Greta Gerwig did not direct this film. Her and Noah Baumbach didn't write this film. Her and Noah Baumbach have a great filmography where they've done films that are 10 times better than this. The studio's hands were too far into this film.
I thought you
it
guys
was
liked
too
it when it first came
commercialized. No, dude.
Oh
it's-
no, it was super commercial.
It was bad, dude. Will Ferrell's performance was bad. His character was bad.
It was a gag.
Yeah.
It's not like, I mean, all of my rating goes towards its technical mastery,
Yeah.
but again, there's better ways to tell
yeah,
the
like
story.
you said, it's been told a bunch of times way, way better.
And I think people are
Yeah.
just so lost in like the marketing,
Yep.
because it was marketed really well, because the money was there.
It's a great blockbuster.
Yeah, it's a great blockbuster, but
But-
it
I
shouldn't
wouldn't
be.
even say that.
It's great
It's a
for bringing people to these.
Yes.
But that's about it.
Yeah.
On a technical front, I can appreciate what they did
Yeah.
technically.
Yeah, absolutely.
But other than that, it's not like I thought that this did anything special.
Yeah. So that's my
You
rating.
got a
Also,
6.9 also,
man.
Custer?
I'm
Why are
gonna go
you
a little
mad?
lower then,
No,
dude.
I'm a
I'll go
man.
6.8.
You're a 6.8.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna give it this weird take that I give. It's kind of like that Space Jam, that new one.
Oh, yeah.
It was just too much. Too.
I didn't even see it.
Yeah, there's still a lot of things going and a lot of like. What did you say right now? Like a lot of.
It was trying to appease too many
Commercialism
people.
or-
A lot of commercialism. Yeah. Peace people. I thought it was funny. I've never seen Ryan like that. It's fun to see a character.
It's a good comedy.
Yeah, it's a good comedy,
It's
man.
a good comedy, but then it wanted to be deep, and then it's like,
In certain
okay,
sections, for sure.
Like to me, I remember when they were advertising this, I was like, oh, if it's gonna be like a '90s like obscure kind of comedy where the toy comes to life, and now we got to get the toy back in the box. I thought that would have been a fun movie.
Yeah.
I would have rode that fun comedy. Just turn off your brain, just enjoy it. But then again, this wanted to be, no, it's funny. No, it's serious.
Yeah.
Hey, but it's still just a comedy. It's kind of a romance. Like it wanted to be too many things, and it didn't just sit with
I
itself.
thought you guys liked it when it first came out. Because I
It's
remember when I
fun.
told you guys, it was just like.
We had fun,
Dude, the fact that they started selling Mojo Dojo Casa houses afterwards, like that wasn't even just part of the film. They legit started selling those.
Carlos, you had fun. You didn't have any
Yeah,
fun.
sure.
That's all. That's all you have to
Yeah,
say.
sure. I mean, who doesn't like looking at it?
Okay, Carlos. What's the rating? Be as brutal as you want.
I'm at a 6. I'm trying to look for this quote that
A 6.
I think Screen Graph shared, or I forget who. I'm at a 6, man. I'm at a 6. I don't think this had anything to say. I think it really bugs me when a film tries to jumpstart your brain when you're. It's trying to jumpstart your brain when I don't think that's what cinema does. A good cinema poses questions that your brain allows you to explore.
Yeah.
This is trying to force you to think about something.
Oh yeah, especially
with jolts of inner energy.
No,
and
even
it's
like America Ferrera, like
yeah, dude,
they
that
just,
monologue.
They just threw her a monologue
Look,
that's like.
I'm glad you brought it up, and the reason I'm being so aggressive about it, I don't mean to interrupt you, is because
go ahead.
American Ferrera, who doesn't like to see a Mexican American win, right?
Right.
She doesn't
George
deserve a
Lopez?
nomination. She doesn't deserve a nomination for this film. American Ferrera is a good actress.
Yeah.
I've seen her in other films that are pretty terrific. I mean, and good for her. She's about to direct her first feature. She's doing good for herself, but it's offensive to me, and I don't use that word lightly. I don't throw that word around at all. It's offensive to me for you to cast a minority group to prove your point. It's fucking offensive. It really
That's
is.
good.
You just casted American Ferrera so that she can deliver your token monologue. Fuck you. Like it just doesn't. It doesn't do anything for me in that regard. The quote I was looking for is I shared it recently. Scorsese says, "Don't try to preach something to your audience. Rather, give them situations and let them decide for themselves."
He said that about this?
No, he just said that in
Oh,
general.
in general,
He's just
in general.
in general about cinema.
Right.
It's
And again, to its technical mastery, you had amazing filmmakers behind this. Amazing filmmakers. You had Rodrigo Prieto, who jumped off Killers of the Flower Moon and then came to do Barbie. You had Greta Gerwig, who I've been fucking championing since Lady Bird. And she did Little Women, which I love. Little Women. Little Women is one of my favorite films of that year, man. I love her pictures.
Little
I love
Women.
her relationship with Saoirse Ronan and Timothy Chalamet. I mean, she's an amazing filmmaker. She was on my list of directors to watch. And now she's going in this Doug Liman kind of trajectory where she did 2 amazing films. By the way, she's written other stuff. She's co-written other stuff. And she started as an actress, so she's acted in other great films. But you're going to go make Lady Bird. And I don't know if this is the right trajectory. I may be full of shit and she's taking a Spielberg route, but she's going to do Lady Bird, Little Women, do Barbie, and then do Chronicles of Narnia next. What are you doing? Where are you going?
It's the Chronicles.
I don't know, man. I mean,
no, and then also I feel like the conversation I've heard from non-cinema people, like just people that watch movies, that are gonna be like, this is the popular pick that all the people who don't really watch cinema are gonna say Barbie should be the best picture. And I remember
when she wasn't nominated, when the nominations came out, that was a huge point. I was pissed off that day because the nominations came out, and the next day there's articles in the Hollywood Reporter of people saying Greta Gerwig single-handedly saved cinema this year, and she doesn't get nominated. It's like, what the fuck? The box office and the cinematic merit are 2 different fucking things.
Yeah,
always. It's very rare. Oppenheimer did something really special because it did both this year. That's fucking rare.
Yeah.
But just because Christopher Nolan makes $1 billion doesn't mean he makes a good film. In this scenario, he did. Barbie, the event film Barbie, sure, saved the box office, but it didn't save cinema.
Yeah.
It didn't do anything for cinema, quite frankly.
Get that right.
And that's the big challenge. I mean, this is the popular pick, and I remember hearing a lot of people after this film came out like, "Oh, Barbie, it needs to be Best Picture," and that's what all the kiddos and all that want it to be.
Yeah.
But it's also the same conversation we had when the Oscars wanted to add a most popular film category or something like that.
Oh, there was a
conversation about that. A lot of people were like, "That's idiotic."
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're trying to talk about film merit, and then you want to make like a popularity contest. Like no, don't give it to these films that are bringing people in for a cheap laugh or like a quick little like turn off your brain and watch a bunch of pretty colors. Like, keep the regard for cinema and the challenge it is to make something that speaks to people on a high level.
And this is a prime example of how you can buy yourself an Oscar.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, the studio Warners can go and buy themselves an Oscar, and they're good for them. But look, just as an example, right? You're gonna give Ryan Gosling a Oscar nomination for this, where you're not gonna nominate him for La La Land? Come on.
He
didn't even get a nomination
What are we
for
doing,
La La Land.
Oscars?
And again, the 2 actors that were nominated in this film were the two of the actors didn't do anything. So to an extent, don't get me wrong, acting is acting, right? And then Ryan Gosling did dive into a role, but man. So there's just too much with this film. I will say, the costume design, the production design is probably the best thing this film has.
Definitely.
Building the sets, and then most of this film took place inside the shooting took place inside a soundstage in London, and they build the sets. And Rodrigo Prieto talks a lot about, like, I walked into this world, and the lighting has to be perfect because everything in Barbie Land is perfect.
Yeah.
The lenses have to be the sharpest because everything in Barbie Land is perfect. So those, again, the technical mastery of it is great. And even the costume design, of course, it's Barbie. You're gonna have to make this look
Such
perfect.
an iconic,
And I love the Wes Anderson approach of the fake backgrounds to be able to move. I mean, it's a great thing, right?
No, it's again. I thought it was fun, and that for the technical aspects, that's why I gave it as high of a rating as I did.
Do you think it has a chance for?
I mean, maybe
production design.
Maybe production design,
Yeah.
because it's so.
But then again,
it's so big,
But then again, Killers of the Flower Moon, think they built the whole town.
Yeah, but they usually do that for westerns, and I mean, also, I would have wished that Wes got production design for
Asteroid City.
Asteroid City. And like,
How
look,
did he not?
No
dude,
love.
they built
No love.
the mountains. They
Exact-
built the mountains.
I'm also convinced. I'm just
How did he
convinced
not?
that Wes just doesn't submit.
Yeah.
I'm just convinced.
that what
he,
it is?
I'm convinced that he doesn't submit.
Has he
His
ever-
films are too good to not be nominated by proxy for something.
I think I'm gonna sound like a dumb, but has he ever?
No,
Grand
he
Budapest
got,
Hotel.
he got nominated for Grand Budapest. but
And
no
Isle of
wins.
Dogs.
He's about to win this year, though.
Well, Austin has a whole thing that he's submitting to the shorts category just so he can get an
That
Oscar.
may
win.
also not be his call. Those are Netflix films. Netflix
Yeah.
likes to win Oscars, you know?
I'm flabbergasted. Wow, he's never like product design, production design, or costume
Hey, what
design.
about Guy Ritchie?
I think Grand Budapest Hotel did get some
That new
wins.
movie
We
looks
talked
pretty
about
good,
that,
though.
right?
They didn't get any wins.
Didn't get any wins, but it got a lot of nods.
It was
The
his,
Gentleman
like
or
the
something,
most
or
nods.
something.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyways,
But Barbie.
drawing it back to Barbie.
Done.
I'll just say that this is, in conclusion, the Billie Eilish song got it on the nose. I don't think this film knows what it's made of. I don't think it knows what it's trying to be.
Yeah.
What am I made for?
It doesn't know what it's made for. So yeah, I mean, it was fun.
It's fun.
I do intend on giving it one more watch before the Oscars just to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Because
I
I
don't
know
think I
that
did.
we all were very surprised when it got that much like love.
We just talked about two amazing films before this one, both of which got 5 nominations. This one got 8.
Damn.
I
Yeah.
think that says it all. Moving right along.